Hello and welcome back to the channel. This video is a double feature on the 1951 Chevy Fleetline, like I had promised on my last video. I'll start with this one that is a fully stock 1951 Chevy Fleetline built from the AMT kit. The kit is quite old, but it's very well detailed, and it goes together very well if you know how to start it and how to build it. There is a little issue on the front end, but I'll explain in a few minutes how to go around it and avoid most of the problems that people have when building those kits. This 51 Chevy was painted with Tamiya spray paint. The color is maroon. I don't recall now the TS number, but it's quite easy to find the color and the Tamiya paint. All the foil on this model is homemade foil, without the use of bare metal foil, and it's almost completely box stock. I just added some engine detail. I built this Chevy to replicate a 51 Fleetline my grandfather used to have. My grandfather, my mother's father, was what you can call a Chevy guy, and for him I am kind of a black sheep of the family, as I am a Ford guy. But I like Chevys too. I don't dislike them, I just happen to like Fords better, and I believe this is my uncle's fault, my mom's brother, that always had Fords. Well, my mother also had Fords too. She used to have a V8 Maverick when I was growing up. My uncle also had one. He had a Galaxy and lots of Fords, so I came out a Ford guy. But I know how to appreciate a Chevy. This car was built completely factory stock, with the factory colors for the interior that are gray and a tone of maroon that goes quite nice with the outside. The white wall tires were painted on the stock AMT tires. There are no aftermarket parts, just paint and detail. And let's show some details of this car. The underside is quite simple. It's all stock, just painted black. I painted the fuel tank and splash pans to contrast, and I added real coil springs on the front. The car is pretty much all stock. The engine is the stock Chevy 6. That is a 235 cubic inch with a 1-barrel carburetor. The details I added are some wiring to the engine compartment and fuel line and plug wires. Oh, I also added the heater hoses. The model depicts a completely stock 51 Chevrolet. This engine, the 235, still has the old non-pressurized oil system, and my grandfather on his Chevy, he replaced the original 235 with the engine from a 1954 Bel Air that had full pressure oil system. I guess he was tired of losing races to Fords. The interior is also completely stock, as you can see. Yeah, it is a two-tone interior in gray and maroon, like from the factory. She has the fender skirts. All the foiling, like I said, was done with homemade foil, no bare metal foil. And the white walls on the tires were painted. All in all, the model resulted really nice. Nothing out of this world, but really nice. Now, my other 51 Chevy. Let's take a look on that car. Let me fix here the little tripod so I can show you my other 51 Chevy. This is the stock, factory stock 51 Chevy. And here we have the other one that is not factory stock, but built in my style of non-factory cars. The paint again is from Tamiya, is the metallic green. That's the only name of the color. I also don't recall the TS code for this color. This time, as it was a metallic, I gave it a coat of automotive two-part clear. The automotive two-part clear has many advantages over any modeling clear and is very easy to apply. I think the better or the most evident advantage is that the automotive two-part clear is very hard. It's rock hard. It won't scratch and will polish to a mirror shine. You can easily polish through modeling clear coats, even the best ones, because they are not designed to withstand the weather and to be really resistant to scratching like the real automotive products are. I also gave the clear coat on all chrome parts while they were still on the trees, and I do this to all my builds, so the chrome will stay chrome and shiny almost forever, because the automotive clear will make almost impossible to wear out the thin aluminum that is the chrome. This model was built to replicate what a young guy would do in the 50s. I shaved the side trim of the Chevy, lowered a little bit the front end, lowered a little bit the rear end, but kept the stock Chevrolet wheels and hubcaps, and of course the wide white tires that are all AMT tires, just with the white walls painted. And this car has a V8 in, and let's do the detail look. Let's take a look in more detail. Here, the underside first. Here you can see the dual exhaust that almost certainly spells V8. And here is the V8 engine adapted to the Chevy frame. I took care to use all the engine mount points that both the engine and chassis will provide on real life. So this adaptation, let's say, it's possible to be done on a real car. The 51 Chevy didn't have a V8 as option because Chevys only started coming out with V8 engines in 1955. And this car has a V8 adapted to it. Oh, you're curious. The interior is all white with a black carpeting, with a aftermarket steering wheel, a tack on the column, and some extra gauges under the dash. This model was also foiled with homemade bare metal foil or household aluminum foil and gold leaf bond. Here we have the V8 engine that, in my opinion, is after the flathead Ford, this is the very nicest sounding engine ever built by anybody, the Ford Y-Block. This one is a 312 that with this configuration would come from the factory on a 57 Ford, and it's here comfortably installed on the engine bay of a 51 Chevy. The electrical system was changed from 6 to 12 volts, as this engine works with 12 volts. And I also installed the hood ornament from a 55 Chevy. Here you can see the tires with the white walls painted. And I airbrushed the white walls using a circle template to avoid painting the rest of the tire, and it usually gets perfect. The side of the car with no chrome trim, the spear, no fender skirts, and a dual exhaust. That sweet, sweet Y-Block sound. And here you have the two cars together. I like the stock the factory stock car a lot better, because that's just my style, factory stock. Deluxe, it's written on the side spear, as this is a deluxe version. I really dig the fender skirts for a factory stock look. You just can't beat that. I think the 51 Chevy, in my opinion, the 51 Chevy, especially the Fleetline over the Style line, is the Chevrolet best hour. I think this is the best looking Chevrolet car ever manufactured. They are just beautiful. They are gorgeous cars. I also like the 57 Chevy, the Bel Air. Not the base models, just the Bel Air. But this one, I think it's nicer. It looks nicer. It looks a lot more classy. And also makes a nice period hot. Of course, with some engine improvements over the 6. Well guys, thank you very much for watching again. And on next video, I plan to do a foiling job with the homemade foil. Even though I didn't paint a body or didn't start a new build, I have an idea, and I really want to foil my AMT masterpiece 1960 Starliner. The AMT masterpiece is a model that AMT used to sell completely built, all built inside a box, just like it were a die cast. But it was not a die cast. It was a completely built kit, all painted, all assembled, all complete. You just had to buy it. But the trim is all painted silver, and I am planning to improve that model I got by painting the details that are lacking on the model, as it lacks some detail, and by applying foil to the chrome. To do that, unfortunately, I'll have to remove some parts like the windshield wipers and the grille and the side mirrors, but I'll try to do that without breaking the parts, and I will try to make the foil job on video. If not the entire foil job, at least a part of it. Well guys, thank you again. Please comment, say what you think, and if you are a Chevy guy, don't say what you think, because I already know that. Thank you.